Hakadosh Boker Or Masechet Bava Kamma Daf Amud Aleph 28a1 says the Gemara. We just asked that we just explained that there's a machloke between Shita ben Bagbag and the Shita of the rabbis. Okay, that's what we just mentioned right now. Right. So he says over here that basically, are you allowed to come and take the din into your hands or not into your hands? So says Abiyana, he comes and he says, "My shavorat shina." What does it mean that you break his teeth? It says badin. That's what it means. You take him to bedin. And when you take him to bedin, that's what you're going to take him to court. So says the Gemara, Yachiv, so, ve'emorlo. Why does it say ve'emorlo? Ve'omrimlo mibale. It's just that they tell him. Emorlo is singular. It's one person. Omrimlo, they tell him. It's a bedin that's speaking. Sheli ani notel. And why does it say sheli? Shalohu notel. He's taking his own things, not that I'm taking myself. When it says ve'emorlo, it's mashma that one person is speaking. And when he says sheli ani notel, I am taking it. So therefore, obviously, there's a difference here. So says the Gemara, you're right. Kashya, it's a good question. Tashima, we're going to bring another proof now. Shor she'alal gabe chavero. What happens right now if a shor comes and he goes on top of another shor, and he goes on top of him, he jumps himself on top of him to kill him. Okay, dorgo. Uva bala tachton v'shamat et shelo v'nafal elyon v'met. So imagine the bottom one, the guy of the bottom one. I don't know how this works exactly, but the guy of the bottom one comes. He pulls out the bottom one. The top one falls and dies. Yeah? I don't know how he does that. Imagine pulling a shore, and it has to be enough that basically that the top one is going to fall and die. I don't know what the case is, but again, this is the case.
Maybe before he pulled him up. The other one jumped him to go.
No, but then it wouldn't say the shamat. But okay, well, whatever the case is, right? Because the shamat means that he slipped him out. Right, that means he's already on top of him. And then it says nafal elyon v'met. Okay, he's going to be patur. My love, are we not talking about muad, right? B'muad v'lekab seda. We're not about that. There's no ifsed to the balashor tachton if he gets killed, because basically the top one will have to come and pay nezek shalem. And so the Gemara, no. Meaning like this, we thought that here he should actually be chayav, not patur, right? Because we're talking about a muad. Now, if it's a muad, he has to pay nezek shalem. Says the Gemara, no, we're talking about a tam. And since it's a tam, so therefore there was the bottom shore, the owner was going to lose out. So since he was going to lose out, it's pseida. Okay? Yachiv, so, ema seifa, let's see the seifa. It says, the chafol elyon umet. He says, what happens if the top one pushed him? Right? So he says, and then he died. Which means the seifa is that if he didn't pull out the bottom one, he went to the top one and he pushed the top one off, and then he fell and he died, he's going to be chayav. Now, if it's going to be a be'ema tam, am I chayav? Why is he going to be chayav now? At the end of the day, he wanted to take off the nezek from himself. Right? You have your animal underneath. You're going to lose out, because if that guy is a tam, meaning if the animal on the top is a tam, he's only paying you chetzi nezek. So now, why in the world will you just sit back and just let it get killed? Like, what's going on? So you pushed it off. So now, why in the world are you going to be chayav? So answers the Gemara, no, you know what you're going to be chayav? Shayelo lo shomto velo shomto. Because you should have slipped it out from the bottom, and you didn't do it. Okay? You should have slipped it up from the bottom, and you didn't do it. So tashema, right? Which means that it depends how you're saving the guy. You understand? Meaning that you should have saved the animal by slipping him out instead of pushing off the top. Okay? So tashema, we're going to try to bring another proof. Imagine right now, you wake up in the morning, you open up your door, and from the entrance of your door to the street, there's jugs. Says the Gemara, you could break all the jugs you want on the way out and on the way in. Meaning, don't go on the sides and everything, but whatever you need to break in order to go out and in, you break. Why? You're allowed to do the din for yourself. What, you're going to stay in the house and start calling the bet din until they come in there? You do it. So Amar Rav Nachman ben Yitzchak, Meshaber v'yotze lebedin, Meshaber v'nichnas la'avi zechuyutav. He says, no. When it says Meshaber v'yotze, it just means that you're going to go to the bedin. Right? That's what it means. When it says Meshaber v'nichnas, it just means you're breaking to bring your proofs. That's what it means. It doesn't bring literally that you're coming and you're breaking. So says the Gemara, fine, Tashema, we're going to bring another proof. Minayin lenirtza shekolulu yomav. Right? V'rabo mesarhev bo latzet. Imagine right now, you have an Eved. And an Eved was nirtza, Remember, Nirtza means that he has the earpiece. He puts the hole in the ear, and then he's going to stay until Yovel. And now the master is coming and trying to push him to get out of there. The Chaval, the Asabu Chabura. Now, when he's trying to get him out, he doesn't want to go out. And the master comes and makes him a Chabura. He hit him. How do we know he's going to be patur? What does that mean? That means so therefore it comes out that if he was chaval ba'eved, in order to force him to go out, he's going to be patur. So you see from here, in such a case, right, that we didn't say that he has to wait until the bedin or whatever it is. Still, is mutar. He's allowed to take the judgment into his own hands. Answers the Gemara, what are we dealing with? Be'avta ganva. Talking about an eved ganav. And therefore, since it's a ganav, he's still a thief. So he's going to steal from you more. So because of that, you want to stop, that you don't want anything else to be stolen from you. So again, anytime that you're going to have an ifsed, you're allowed to. So says the Gemara, he's with you for 50 years. He's not a ganav. And now he's a ganav? Like, what's going on over here? What's the case? So answers the Gemara, until now, you were his master. So he's afraid of you. Afterwards, he's not afraid of you anymore. Because right now he's a free man. So since he's a free man, he's going to make sure that on his way out, he's going to take whatever he wants and he's going to leave. Okay? Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak says, Be'eved shemasar lo rabo shivcha kenanit. We're talking about an eved, right, that was given to him the shivcha kenanit. Ada inna heteira. The hashta isura. Until now, it was heter. And then it became an isur. Okay? What does that mean? We're talking about an eved that the master gave him a shivcha kenanit. So therefore, until now, he's allowed to live with her because he's an eved and he's allowed to go with the shivcha kenanit. But the second that he's a free man, he's not allowed to go with the shivcha kenanit. So in order to save him from the isur, you're allowed to. So says the Gemara Tashema, we're going to try to bring another proof now. Our Mishnah, you place a kad in a shut rabim, somebody else comes, he stumbles upon it and breaks it, he's going to be patur. The reason why is because need kalba. But if he broke it, he's going to be chayav. So Amar Zvid Mishmed Rava, the same halacha even if he broke it. So why do we say nitkal? Because of the seifa, as it says, if he got damaged, so therefore the guy has to pay. But that's tafka if he was nitkal. But if he breaks it, he's not going to be chayav to pay. Why? He damaged himself. Fine. Another case then. Tashema. Another case. Remember, we're talking about a woman that she grabbed, right, the groins of a male, right, that was fighting with her husband. And then what happens is that it says that you have to cut off her hands. You're not literally cutting off her hands. It's mamon. My lover, we're not talking about now. She cannot save him with anything else. Meaning the reason why she went for that, right, was because she wanted to go for the kill, right? Well, the guy is beating up her husband. She wants to make sure that she's going to save him. Answers the Gemara, no. She could save through something else. And the fact that she could save through something else, that's why she's going to be chayav. Okay? Ptura says what? But if she cannot save through something else, she's going to be ptura. If so, the Tani saving, what about the seifa? Shalicha yadah. Right? She's going to send out her hand. It's prat l'shiach bedin. So says the Gemara, liflug v'litni b'dida. So why don't we just divide it between themselves? One of these words, she could save through something else. But if she cannot save through davar acher, ptura, she's going to be ptura. So just say it. Say if she could save, so she's going to be chayavet. And if she cannot save, other than grabbing there, it's going to be permitted. So says the Gemara, you're right. One of these words, she could save through something else. She cannot save through something else. So then she becomes like a shliach bedin and she's going to be tura. Tashema. Yeah, another explanation. If you have the Reshut Rabim, which is going to be going by through his sadeh. Now the Bala Sadeh comes and he gave it to him on the side. Whatever he gave. Right? Which means, right, he cannot retract anymore. But the old one, he doesn't even get back. So this guy lost out completely. He had a Reshut Rabim going straight through his property. He now wants to transfer it on the side. Now both of them are Reshut Rabim. The middle path he doesn't get back, and the one on the side he already gave it. That's it. That's what the Gemara says. Now says the Gemara, if you're going to tell me a person could do the deen to himself, so you should take a makel, and anybody take a stick, and anybody that goes through the first derech, give him a beating. Yeah. So Amar Rava, you know why we don't allow that? Because it's a gezerah. Maybe he's going to start giving them like a path, which is all like like not good, and because of that, that's why we say that they still keep the old path, just in case like gezerah that he's going to give them some like type of I don't know what, right? That he doesn't use and just stam, and now the entire everybody have to go through this crazy path just to get there. So Mishar Shiaman or Shasha comes and he says, right? We're talking about that they gave them a derech hakalton. That's why he doesn't get anything back, and they're able to go wherever they want. Vashi comes and he says, "Kol min hatzad is already considered derech hakalton, koval hazeh v'chokol hazeh," because it's far away from one person, but it's closer for somebody else. Okay, so ask the Gemara, if so, amai shelo lo yo. So why doesn't he not keep his own? Leima lehu. They should just tell them, no, you take back what you gave us, and we're taking back what we already had. So answers the Gemara, Mishum Rav Yehuda, because of Rav Yehuda. That Rav Yehuda says, Meitzar shechziku b'rabim asul lekalkalo. If you have the tzot of the gvul, which people already, this is what they're used to going by. So let's say you can't take it away anymore. It's a asul lekalkalo. I mean, they have like a chazakah, that this is what they already go. It's a chazakah. They're able to go through this place now. That's it. You can't stop them anymore. Okay? The last proof to try to prove this. Tashema, right? He says, Bala bayit sheniach peah mitzad echad, u'ba'u aniyim v'natzu mitzad acher. Imagine right now the balabait takes off peah, the corner of the field in one corner, and they come to the other corner and they start taking it. The Yamart, now zev v'zeh peah, so both of them are peah. The Yamart, now if you're going to tell me avidin shtina Moshe, why are they both peah? Linkop is he should just stand with a makel and start giving them beatings. Amar Rava says, what does it mean peah? The potra min ha'maaseh. That's to do with giving to the aniyim, right? It's not considered peah. It just means that they're both going to be patur from maaser. Which means like this: you make something hefker, then the next morning you get up. Now remember, hefker is patur from everything. You wake up the next morning after making an hefker, and all of a sudden, what did you do? You come and you start reaping and you start doing things. So you're going to be chayav in all these things, except for maaser. Maaser is the only thing that you're going to be patur. Because basically it says that basically if he's choser and zocher from the hefker, he's still going to be patur. But everything else you're going to be chayav. Okay? Fine. Next, Mishnah. Kavchet Amud Aleph, second last line of Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Nishbira kado b'shut arabim. If right now the kad broke in the reshut arabim. Yeah? So imagine the jug breaks and somebody slips in your water. Yeah, or you stepped upon this little tiny piece of pottery. Yeah, chayav, you're going to be chayav. Rabbi Yehuda says, benit kaven chayav. Only if he had kavanah, he's going to be chayav. If he's not mitkaven, he's going to be patur. So Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav, says Rav Yehuda in the name of Rav, lo shanu ela shetinfu kelav v'mayim. That's only going to be in a case where it got dirty. Shetinfu kelav v'mayim. Aval kavchet amubet 28b. Aval hu ve'atzmo is going to be patur, but he himself. That means basically that means if right now he fell himself, he's going to be patur. Why? Karka olam hazikato, because it's a karka, it's the ground that damaged him. It wasn't him. Meaning, if the utensils get dirty, so then that's his water or whatever it is that got it dirty. But if it's going to be, right, the karka olam. Right? So then it's going to be patur. So Kiamita Kamed Shmuel. When they said this in front of Shmuel, Amarli, right? He told me, Nichti. Right? Let us see. Avno v'sakino umasao. Where we're talking about an even, sakin or a masa. So we're talking about whether it's a stone, right? Whether it's a knife or a masa or a burden. Boro lamanu. We already learned this from Boro. V'kulam ani korebahen. And I'm going to call them shor v'lo adam, chamor v'lo kelim. V'anamili yan kitalav. That's only to do with death. Yan zikin. Adam chayav, meaning if a person falls into a bor, balabor is going to be chayav. The kelim is going to be paturim, right? So now what happens is, right? So therefore, basically, when they said this, he comes and he said, "I don't understand. Why isn't this?" I think this the doctor asked this before. This should be like a case of bor, yeah. The Rav Rav comes and he says, when do we say this? Hechad dafkerinu, only if you made it hefker. But if you didn't make it hefker, mamonahu, it's his money. And therefore you're going to make him chayav midin shor, that you're going to be chayav on everything else, not midin bor. Which means if the guy came and he made it hefker, so then it's going to be chayav mitzad bor, and then he's going to be patur on certain things. But if right now he didn't make it hefker, it's his money. If it's his money, he's going to be chayav mitzad shor. He's chayav mitzad shor. He's chayav on everything. He's chayav on the kelim and on all these things. So Mativ Rav Oshia, sort of Oshia comes and he asks the following question. It says in Afal Shama Shor Chamor that it's going to fall the Shor Chamor. Shor velo Adam, Chamor velo Kelim. It says Shor velo Adam, Chamor velo Kelim. Mikan Amru, from here we say Nafal letocho Shor vekelav, nishtabru Chamor vekelav nitkaru, chayav ala behema upatur ala kelim. It says like this. When it says over there in Nafal Shama Shor Chamor, we already learned Shor velo Adam, Chamor velo Kelim. From here we say that if a Shor, right, and Kelim went inside and it broke, right, or a Chamor and Kelim went inside and it broke, or a Tor, whatever it is, he's going to be chayav on the Behema, but he's going to be patur on the Kelim. To Evan Sakinu Masa, that he puts it into the Reshut Rabbi, and it's going to damage. So says the Gemara Adra, but the opposite. What does that mean exactly? When you're going to tell me now that the bor is mefurash in the Torah, Evan Sakinu Masa is not mefurash in the Torah, meaning, what is it better to compare it to? The Evan Sakinu Masa to the bor, or the bor to that? Obviously, the bor is the best. The bor is written in the Torah, right? Vala bor it's written in the Torah bor. So obviously, it's much better to compare the Evan Sakinu Masa to the bor than the bor to Evan Sakinu Masa. What does it mean? Right? What does that mean? That if in the bor you're not going to be chayav, right? So too the takala and Reshut Rabim, right? If it was going to be, you're going to be patur. And therefore he says lefichach, metiach slochit be'even. If you come and you put, how do you call it, a saucer? I don't know, it's like a type of a plate, right? So he says, shulcha b'Reshut Rabim v'tzluchit nishbera. Yeah, he comes and he says, what's going to happen? He's going to be chayav, right? It means the person that put the stone is going to be chayav. So reisha kashil Rav v'seva kashil shmuel. So it means one more time. The reisha was a question to Rav, right? Why? Because he said that a chefetz of an adam that he placed in Reshut Rabim is got the din of bor, and the seifa, which means that you're going to be chayav, is a question to Shmuel, because he says it's got a din of a shor. So what's going on there? Does it have a din of a shor or a bor? So says the Gemara, according to your reasoning, you could ask this question itself. Reisha patur in the seifa chayav. Forget about now. Who's it a question on? The actual psak. The psak is already a question. The reisha, right? You already said it's going to be patur. The seifa you're going to be saying it's going to be chayav. What's going on? So says the Gemara, each one can answer according to the reasoning. Rav is going to answer according to his reasoning. But what are we talking about? You made them hefker. And therefore, once you made it hefker, so therefore it's going to be mitzad bor. But if you didn't make it hefker, you're going to be chayav on kelim. Why? Because then it's short, it's your money. Therefore, you're going to be chayav. Shmuel comes and he says, yeah, Shmuel metaretz tameh. He says, "Hashta the now that you just said even sakinu masal is like a bor according to Shtat of Yehuda the mechayev niska kelim bebor lefichach." Therefore, if you're going to put the tzlochit beven, you're also going to be chayav. Why? Because he says even sakinu masal is like a bor, and therefore, according to Rabbi Yehuda, you're going to be chayav on kelim on the bor. We hold that you're going to be patur on the kelim on the bor, but Rabbi Yehuda holds you're going to be chayav. So therefore, it makes sense. So Amar Rabbi Elazar says Rabbi Elazar, "Lo shanu ela shenitkal ba'even." Right, when he's shof by only if a person comes, he gets stuck with a stone. He gets confronted with a stone, and then what happens is that it was hit by the stone, tzluchit. But nitkal bekarka when he's shof by But if the person hit the ground and then the tzluchit got broken by the Evan, he's going to be patur. Right? Why? Because it was basically brought forth from the karka, not from the stone. Because even though it was a stone that was actually breaking it, but it was because it was nitkal bekarka. He got stuck because of the ground. Okay, so Kiman, who does that go like? Not like Rabbi Natan. He says, that is the first shita. It's not going like Rabbi Natan, because according to Rabbi Natan, he says that Balabor is going to be chayav the Shalom, right? Even if it was caused through something else. Meaning, according to Shtat Rabbi Natan, I don't care what caused the guy to fall. The second the guy fell, that's it. He's already going to be chayav. So Yikad Amri, those that say, Amar Rabbi Lazar says Rabbi Lazar, Lo teima benitkal be'even v'nishof be'even, hud mechayev, aval nitkal be'karka v'nishof be'even patur, el afilu nitkal be'karka v'nishof be'even chayav. He comes and he says this. He says Rabbi Lazar, don't tell me in a case where a person is going to be nitkal be'even, and then he's going to be nishof be'even, that he's going to be chayav. But rather, even if he's going to be nitkal be'karka, nishof be'even, he's going to be patur. But even in such a case where he's going to be nitkal be'karka, he's going to be chayav. So obviously this is Rabbi Natan. Keman, who does this call like? Like Rabbi Natan. Because according to Shtat Rabbi Natan, I don't care how he fell into the pit, the guy's always going to be chayav. Yeah? Fine. Next, Rabbi Yehuda says that a person that had kavanah is going to be chayav, and if he did not have kavanah, he's going to be patur. What was the kavanah here? Amar Rabba says, you wanted to bring it down. Meaning, you wanted to bring it down, and then nitkal. And then what happened is that it hit the wall or whatever it is, and it broke, and then now everything happens. Okay? So Elmaleh Abaye comes and he says, says, I don't understand. Even if it comes and it slips off, which is completely an onus, you're going to say that he's going to be chayav? Why? So Elmaleh, he says, yes, you're right. He says, even if right now he's got the Oziel in his hand, meaning he's got the handle in his hand, and it broke off or whatever it is, you're going to be chayav. So it's an honest. You didn't do any pshia. You didn't start taking it off, and all of a sudden something happened, and it slipped, and it broke, and did. And no. Mamash, it just slipped off. You're going to be patur. You're going to be chayav. So says Gemara, why? You're honest. How do we know? If a woman's violated, do you do anything to the woman? Obviously not. She's honest. She's violated. You don't do anything to her. Maybe you're going to say that's something to do with death. Because you're not going to kill her. Miskena, what did she do? But to do with nizikin, you're going to be chayav. Talia, we learned to the Raita. What happens if a person's jug breaks? He doesn't pick it up. Or the gamal falls and he doesn't pick him up. The Bimi was mechayev in the zek. Chachamim come and they say, patur midine adam, mechayev dine shamayim. Modim chachamim Rabbi chachamim are going to be modim to Rabbi Meir. Bavnosa kino masao shenicham rosh kago v'naflu b'roch metzia v'ziko. Right? Shehu chayav, that he's going to be chayav. Umodeh Rabbi Meir l'Rabbanan. Rabbi Meir is going to be modeh to the Rabbanan. Hamaleh kankanin l'gag v'menan l'nagvan. If you take the kankans on the jugs, you take them to the roof in order to dry them up in the sun. And all of a sudden there was a terrible wind. That's not normal. That came and threw everything off. You're going to be patur. So you see from here that even Rabbi Meir, which is machmin and nezikin, if it's going to be an honest, it's going to be patur. So what's going on? But rather Rabbi says, you're right. So it's going to be two-way machloket. Right? Pligi b'shat nefilah, pligi le'achar nefilah. There's going to be a machloket during the time when it actually falls, and a machloket also after it fell. And now Abaye is going to explain the two different machlokets.